thing you want to learn, the seventh and the last quality you want to develop that is going to be critical in helping your partner deal with whatever it is they're dealing with that has to do with their weakness is influence. Listen, you don't think control, you think influence. Whatever it is your partner is dealing with, whatever the weakness is, and no matter how annoying it is, no matter how aggravating it is, no matter how infuriating it is, no matter how much it has gotten on your nerve, you can only achieve your objectives. You can only get at the results you desire to get at. You can only achieve your corporate goals if you think of influence. But if you think you want to control, you want to shout, you want to scream, you want to nag, you want to stonewall, you want to manipulate, you want to cry through emotional blackmail, all of that attempt to succinctly control your partner will eventually misfire. So I think that you don't want to focus on trying to change. The reason why oftentimes we try to follow the path of control, whether we know that's what it is we're doing or not, is because we have at the back of our mind a clearly defined motive to change our partners. We are focusing on trying to change our partners, and in trying to change people, we are trying to employ control. Can I suggest to you, don't try to change nobody because you can't. You never can. You can influence people, but you can't change them. And the difference between control and attempting to change people is that in influence, you don't have control about what you influence them to do. They choose, they decide how far. And influence it involves process, it's procedural. Influence is in stages. Influence is gradual. Influence can be passive most of the times. Influence is unnoticed. Influence, some of the times, even the person being influenced does not immediately realize that they are under an influence. But when it is controlled, it is obvious from the onset that this person is trying to remodify me. This person is trying to create out of me a version of me that they desire. And once your partner realizes, senses in its slightest terms that you are trying to modify them, which of course is evident that you don't accept them for who they are, how they are, and whatever it is that they represent, you don't accept their individuality. Once partners sense that, you sure are not going to like what it is that's going to come out of that. So you can't change people, but you can influence them by showing them the benefit of your position. You can influence them by knowing the right time to talk to them and then presenting in the sincerest possible form the benefits of your view. Oftentimes, it's easier to get people to buy into your view when you tell them you don't have to do what I'm saying. It's just my view. It's just my perception. I know you have an amazing idea about this. I know you have an incredible perspective about these things. And of course, I know that your perspective is also right. But this is a different perspective to read. If we do it your way, it can work. If we do it my way, it can work. It's okay. We can try your way today. Tomorrow we can try my way again, and then we see what works better. By the time you stoop down like that, you'll be amazed how much influence you're going to exert. You'll be amazed how much change you're going to experience over a period of time. It's different than when it's like, this is what I think, and this is what it has to be. If this marriage is going to go on, then you better think about that. If we're going, you can't get nothing. You can't achieve nothing from that kind of attitude. You stoop to conquer. This is important. The next thing you can do is that you can also influence your partner by creating a positive environment. A positive environment that is conducive to cooperation rather than to control. There are environments that are conducive for cooperation. than for control. Once you give your partner reason to believe that you want cooperation, you want partnership, you want a team, you want to give your partner the impression that you want peace, you want progress, you want their betterment. If they can see it, not just that you said it, if they can see it to be so, trust me, they're going to cooperate with you for the ultimate benefit of everybody. Listen to this. I'm sure you may have heard the expression that has been said over time. They said you can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. You can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. So you want to catch them flies and you put vinegar, you're going to chase all them flies away. But if you put honey, and then you're going to find out that because of the sweetness, because of the taste, the beauty, all them flies are going to come and perch around your honey, and then you're going to catch them. That's just exactly what you need to do. You want to create sweetness. You want to treat your partner with such beauty, such honor, such dignity. You want to pamper your partner until they lose their bearing. You want to treat them like kings, the kings and the queens that they are. By the time you begin to create that sweetness that represents a honey, you'll be amazed how closer you are going to draw them towards you. You'll be amazed how the level of connection is going to get to an all-time high. You'll be amazed how closer to understanding how you feel they will become. They're going to understand why you feel the way you feel. They're going to understand what it is that you feel. They're going to understand what your motives and your intentions are. And trust me, this will increase your chance of productive outcome. I believe, just like John Maxwell taught in his book, The 360 Degree Leadership, if you understand the power of influence, you don't have to be the head of the family to exact positive influence. You don't have to be the neck of the family to exact positive influence. But from whatever position, advantaged or disadvantaged that you are, you'll be amazed at the level of difference that you're going to make. As we bring this entire series on partner weakness management to an end, let me say this, it will help you. In all I have shared from the beginning of this series up till now, I do not intend to say, I am not saying that you are wrong and your partner is right in whatever has happened. I'm not making you responsible for their weakness. I'm not making you the victim of their weakness. No, they already have this weakness, and what we're looking for is the way forward, is how can we get things to be better. So you're not wrong. On the contrary, what I have tried to do through this series is to show you that if you handle the situation slightly differently, trust me, you will get a better result. Now, there are two things I want you to take from this, my summary. This is my conclusion. Number one, most of the times, the weakness of a partner is amplified and they misbehave, they do all kinds of stuff when things are generally not going on well with them. They're having challenges in their workplace, they're having financial challenges, they're having sexual challenges, they're having health challenges. Things are not just going on fine with them, whereas things are probably going on fine with you, the other partner, or things are going on fine with every other person apart from themselves. Now listen, whenever this happens, the result is frustration. The result is that it increases their insecurity. And we can understand why they are dealing with that. If we can dig into that frustration, identify it, and empathize with them, and still do all that I've shared, it will still make a lot of difference. However, there are other times when a partner's weakness is still amplified even when everything is going on fine. Their jobs are doing well. They're even being promoted in the office. Their health is fine. Everything about them is fine. And you're like, what in the world is wrong? They just got a promotion. She just got a promotion yesterday, and I'm amazed. Instead of being excited today, what's going on? Oftentimes, when partner weakness is amplified, even when everything is going on fine, it is more an issue of misunderstanding. It's more an issue of not understanding each one the other and not knowing how to accept each other and not knowing how to adjust to each other. And if you do all that it is that I've shared in this entire series, I believe that you're going to have an amazing outcome. Let me congratulate you ahead of time, because I know that putting the things that I've shared with you into practice, you are going to experience exponential change in the outcomes that you're getting. Thank you so much for your attention, and do have the bliss in your relationships that you've always dreamt for. Thank you so much.